select those mice that had spontaneous mutations, for example, in coat color or ears or craniofacial, long tails, kinky tails, so whatever they could see, maybe spotted mice or things like that, and they would start inbreeding them.
Mice breed very quickly and very often, so mutations tend to spring up fairly regularly. Fanciers were after aesthetic mutations, but scientists quickly found fanciers could provide mice with more utilitarian mutations. This mouse with a kinky tail, it can develop diabetes or colon cancer or this rare neurologic disease.
Between mouse and humans, the gene conservation is incredibly high. Although we don't understand the sequence, and so it's translational.
Mice and people share about 98% of their genetic code.
The mutations that you would see in the mice would often translate to the mutations that you see in people. And so, really mice have become the model organism for humans.
So if you can cure a cancer in a mouse, that's a big step towards curing it in a person. Genetic engineering became a thing really in the 90s and accelerated with tech like CRISPR in recent years. The result is research mice today precisely engineered in thousands of ways to test thousands of treatments. It's why a pet store mouse costs a couple bucks, while a research mouse can run hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Kat's favorite mouse is this little white one.
It was a mouse called Delta 7, and it was a mouse that we used to study a very devastating neurological disease called spinal muscular atrophy.
Delta 7 mice were engineered to develop this human disease, SMA. It's a bit like ALS, as in the Ice Bucket Challenge, but it presents in babies.
They're born very small, they're born very weak, and they don't live very long.
Kat worked with Delta 7 for years and years.
And I'm happy to say that I don't work on it anymore.
Because Delta 7 eventually led to real therapies, lots of them. SMA is largely treatable today, in large part thanks to those white mice.
A lot of those kids, when they're diagnosed early enough, actually go on to live quite normal lives and are riding bicycles at the age of 3.
But the thing is, labs everywhere have their own Delta 7s, monumentally important mice models specifically designed to study specific diseases or treatments. Some labs have completely unique models that don't exist anywhere else. And when the pandemic started picking up speed and labs were closing, those mice were at risk.
We received a number of SOS calls, for animals. Could you please cryopreserve my mouse, because I do need to take them off the shelf.
By preserve, she means cryopreserve. Freeze the sperm of a lab's unique mouse model so you can use it to jumpstart a new colony later. The guy answering those SOS calls was Robert Taft. He tells me about a workshop he led years ago where he asked scientists to imagine worst-case disasters, mostly storms and earthquakes, that result in their mouse colonies being lost.
I had a scientist come to me and say, Rob, I just realized that if that scenario ever did play out, I'm making sandwiches in Bar Harbor as my next job.
Meaning the end of that specifically designed mouse is the end of her career. Before the pandemic threatened mice colonies, most of the danger was extreme weather.
Allison, Katrina, Sandy.
They all threatened incredibly valuable mice. With the pandemic, it was like this extreme weather scenario was playing out all across the country and all at once.
This is a completely new challenge. No one's faced anything quite like it before in this country.